All right. I think I am in live. I'm going to try to best as I can. I've got a microphone set up, but I don't know who's out there. Let me see here. I want to make sure you guys can hear me kind of decent, and kind of make sure the vocal sounds decent. Decent. I've got it up pretty high, but I want to make sure you can kind of hear me out there. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about, well, basically today, man, I want to get into a couple of different ideas about, first of all, off about understanding breathing and in chi and talking about that. Now I know my buddy Don Weber will be on there with me in a second. Mr. Don Weber is one of those instructors that has been helping out a lot, man, with all the good stuff out there with the martial arts, and I know right now everybody is going through this COVID thing, man. It is something else. It's making it tough on life, but at the same time, look, you gotta smile and you gotta be happy for what you have. You got your bodies. I can show you what to do here to get these lungs and to get the throat and to get everything kind of cleared up. This is the only reason why I've been doing my shows all this time now, because man, I'm able to do qigong and tai chi and really push it to the limit. So I'm going to show you some of the basic postures that I do, along with Mr. Don Weber. He's on there someplace. I know he's out there somewhere. I can't tell. But if you want to follow along with me this morning, y'all, and I'll try to explain to you how this works and how simple it is. It's really not too complicated. Now, I have been noticing something here, and I want y'all to pay attention to this, because just the other morning, I noticed that they had somebody on the morning show, and they were talking about something called tapping. Now, you guys know I've been doing tapping for a long time, and tapping is nothing new. It's been around for 1,000 years. It's been around for a long, long, long time. And tapping is one of the first things we'll talk about to understand how to open up all the meridians and the channels and the flow and all that good stuff. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Let me see here. All right, we got a few people that's on there. Let's just let me start here first, and I'm just gonna start with some basic understanding about the tapping part, because I want you to see this first. Okay, so once we do the tapping, it stirs the energy. And let me explain what energy is. Energy is the chi source. In the Eastern world, we call this the chi source. Energy within the blood system, within the blood flow, within the muscles, the bones, everywhere. The energy has to flow through that. That's one of the reasons why the heart is pumping right now, because we have that chi and it makes it happen. Now, for some of you out there, I've been doing martial arts for a long time, a good over 40 years now, man. And I've been through a lot of styles, a lot of different systems. But I think what martial arts, for me personally, I mean, I love the defense and I love all the striking and all that good stuff. But you got to go to the core of what you do before you can let the physical body express. Right? So before I can throw a punch out, before I can make that happen, what do I need? Well, I need the internal to be aware that something is about to happen. So what does that take? It takes the breath, which we're going to talk about. The breath, it takes the brain, and it takes the body. Right? And those three specific steps. Okay? So let's start with something really basic. Let's start with the basic tapping. Okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take and right across these fingers right here, I'm going to take these 4 spots just like that, and I'm going to tap on the inside of my arm, just like that. Now, a lot of people who start the tapping, they want to start with this. They want to start with the abs and get all that tap. And the way that they tap, they don't tap like that. They kind of have like just a tap, 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 right, going across, and it opens up the channels here. Because a lot of people, they want to start with that because this is where the core is. To me, I don't feel that's necessary. I think you can start just about anywhere to get you tapping to open the body up. But you can always start here if you want. If you feel better to do that way, always good. Okay, so I'll go on both sides. I'll tap this side, just like that. Right? I'll go to the other side. Right? Tap that all the way to the shoulder. right? Then I turn it over and I do the back of the arm. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. As I tap, right? Tap, tap. I do the other side. Same thing. Okay, now as I'm tapping, I'm relaxed. Okay? And one of the cool elements behind tapping is as you're tapping, don't just tap. Tap with the brain also. What I mean by that is think relaxation. Okay? One of the comments I'm always talking about is in a lot of martial art friends out there, you know what I'm talking about. If we had a stream, and we called that stream the chi stream, chi, energy stream, right? And when that stream is flowing nice and smooth, right, our bodies are relaxed. So you don't have to have a tense motion to make anything happen in martial arts. You can be relaxed. So when that stream is nice and easy, it's easy going, nice, and the chi is flowing. But when you take a rock and you throw a rock in there, and all of a sudden, oh, now the chi is kind of like doing that, it's doing this, and that's your internal system doing, not so many good things. And what I mean by that is you may have, in the Western world, we call this a blockage. In the Eastern world, we call it a blockage, but there's two different meanings between both of those blockages. In the Eastern world, when we have a chi blockage, that means that the energy from point A to point B, the energy is not really flowing the way it should flow. In the Western world, a blockage means, oh my God, you have a blood clot, you got this, you got so many other things that happen with the Western world. But the Eastern world, we're talking about specifically chi. Whether we're talking about any one of the 14 meridians in the body, the 12 main meridians, and the 2 very extra meridians. When we talk about these meridians, we're talking about chi, okay? So again, when we're tapping, try to think relaxation as you tap, as you do that. No matter where you're tapping, I'll go in the chest, and then I'm going to move down to the abs. Now, when I'm doing the abs now, don't press so hard. Don't hit yourself and knock yourself over and stuff. It's a nice little easy tap. It's kind of like just that. You know, the difference between clapping, you go full speed with a clap, or you kind of tap like that, right? That's what we want. Same kind of tap. So as I'm tapping, I'm relaxing. Now, one thing you can think about is as you're doing this, I'm going to center myself a little bit. I'm going to bend my knees a little bit. You can bend your knees, and what that does, that stirs the chi even more so. Okay? We call this rooting or centering, okay, in this area here. So as I do that, my body even becomes more relaxed. Okay, as I do that. So I'm tapping, okay, and I'm breathing. My breathing is normal as I tap. I'm not going to change my breathing. My breathing is going to be relaxed, okay? And then I'm going to go to the sides. I'm going to tap the sides. When we tap the back, of course, we do this, right? Nice and relaxed. Now, all this tapping is going to lead to the body being ready internally, okay? So that means that when I'm breathing in, right, now my energy sources, my energy points, meridians, now they're a little bit more open, okay? And that's what we want. We want to have some open channels as we're doing Qigong or Tai Chi, whatever you want to call this. To me, I think it's just the key of life, breath. That's what we're working on here, breath, okay? Now, I'm going to move to tapping to understand how to breathe. And then we're going to put the breathing techniques into some postures, okay? And let me let you understand a little bit better. As we're breathing, okay, there's a few things that need to happen. And again, everybody who's going through this in the whole world right now, going through COVID and going through the breathing problems and the lungs, because the first thing you hear when somebody's going through COVID is their lungs have been affected, right? Now, even though it's infected, right, and you have an infection going on there, it doesn't mean you have to stop breathing. You want to make those breaths even deeper now, because we want to clear and resume normal breathing, right? It's kind of like if you had a muscle injury, right? And you just kind of left it alone and did nothing. You just put that on, put it on the table, and you hurt one of your muscles on your arms there, and you just left it alone, okay? It would take a lot longer for that muscle to retrieve itself, to come back, to really help, okay? So what do? So we start to eventually we build that up. So you start to move your hand, start to move the arm a little bit, right? Start to move the shoulder, right? All the external things that we think. But if you go internal, in here, in here, in here, in chi, you start to affect it inside out, okay? Inside out. And that's the whole point behind chi, I think, is we go inside out. We're not going physically outside, right? And tap, even though we're doing this, we're actually tapping to the inside approach, okay? So let's get back to the breathing. Now I want you to understand how the breath is going to work. When we take a breath in, and I'm going to do it wrong, and then I'm going to do it right, okay? So I'm just going to, right? So this kind of breathing, sometimes we call that shallow breathing, right? This kind of breathing is only from this point to this point. Now, I'm not even saying above, right? It's kind of, we're not taking that breath and bringing it down, okay? Now, let's say, for instance, I'm going to breathe in, and some singers do this when they breathe into the diaphragm, right? They do this, right? Now, you're kind of going a little bit lower. So, going from this to this. So, we went from this to this, okay? That's good. That's not bad. But the best is to bring it all the way down. And when I say bring it all the way down, this is called we call this the chi bowl, right? And the chi bowl is where the energy kind of stirs up. So when I'm doing my postures, when I'm doing all my postures from here, the first thing I'm thinking about is bringing it to the chi bowl, right? Breath comes in. The breath comes in, right? The brain accepts it, right? And then the body reacts. All right, I'm going to go from a side view so you can see how this is going to work. So I'm going to breathe in, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to put my hands right about here so I can kind of feel the breath. So I'm going to breathe in, and as I breathe in, I'm not going to move my shoulders. I'm going to relax. Breathe in, I'm going to breathe in, and then breathe out. Now I'm going to exaggerate so you can kind of see this and hear this, okay? So as I breathe in, I'm breathing in through my nose, okay? Here, my lips are kind of closed as I do that. I breathe in, and then I breathe out. Now, the difference between breathing out and breathing out with chi is when I breathe out, I relax my body even more as I breathe, okay? Now, let's try that breathing one more time. I'm going to breathe in, here, breathe in. I got an itchy nose. Breathe in, and then breathe out. And I'm going to try to go maybe 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out. Okay, let's try this together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. Breathe in. 1. Now remember, relax as you're breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Good. Now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Now that's our breathing method. Okay. And what I mean by that is I want you to breathe as deep as you can breathe. You know. And one of the ways to think about this is think chi bowl. Okay. And literally think chi bowl. So what I mean by that is as you're breathing in, not only are you breathing, but your mind is receiving. Okay, you're breathing, the mind is receiving, and the mind is saying, hey, bring it down. The mind is telling the body what to do, right? And there's that order again. We're talking about the breath, the brain, and the body. Let's try it again, okay? From here, breathe in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now bend your knees slightly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Now, what I want you to do as you're doing this is really focus. Now, in martial arts, and a lot of martial arts out there, we call this rooting. So when I'm doing a motion, right, no matter what motion I'm going to do, right, I can root my body downward, right, as I'm going to get ready to do a technique. No matter what technique I'll do, I can root my body downward. And what that is that's me setting up the chi pattern, right? If you set up the chi pattern, the energy flows. So a lot of times when you think about somebody who's taking a strike, for instance, if I'm doing a strike and I'm throwing a hard strike out there, you don't have to be, like that, right? You can actually be soft before that strike comes out. So I can be from here and then throw the strike out and have a good amount of energy because there's that stream, right? Imagine that rope, a rope. My instructor, Master Ken Duncan, boy, he had a great example of this. He said, you take that rope, and he said, when you pop that rope, and a long rope, and you do that to the rope, and at the end of that rope, that's where you don't want to be, because that'll pop you, right? There's a lot of energy at the end of that rope. But because of that, right, because of that whipping motion. So martial arts has the same kind of whipping motion when you strike, when you kick, no matter, even if you're doing leg techniques, no matter what you're doing. Right? The whipping motion is really important too. And that, again, that has a lot to do with the advanced motion of chi and the physical aspect of what you're doing and the technique that you're doing. Okay? Let's get back to some of these breathing techniques, and I'm going to try to go through breathing and postures. Okay? So let me take it a step further here. So our bodies are straight forward. My legs and my feet shoulder width apart. Right? My hands are relaxed. My body's relaxed. We just finished tapping, okay? Everything's relaxed. We just understood how the breathing method works. So when you breathe in, it's going to go down, right to the dantian, and then starts over again. It's kind of like that circle as you breathe, right? So now we're going to add something to this. Now we're going to add some postures, okay? We're going to add a posture. And I'm just probably going to do a few postures so you'll understand how it works. Now, the reason why we're going to do the postures is now we're adding breath, brain, now we're adding body. Breath, brain, body. I want that body to move. But the body is moving. Now, I can't really get into the full aspect of the advanced side of what's about to happen here because there is a reason why the body moves a certain way in Qigong, in Tai Chi. It's not just any motion that you throw out there. There's a reason why the motions are happening. Because, and I'll give you a slight input, is because the meridians and the channels, right, move a certain way. And when we align the breath with those movements, right, it stirs those meridians even more. And it starts to heal internally. That's what that's all about. That's the reason for that, okay? Now, let's take posture one. Now, posture one is real simple. You notice my hands are just relaxed, my shoulders are relaxed, my body's relaxed. I'm going to start to breathe in. And as I start to breathe in, my hands and my palms are going to come up. Like if I was kind of holding something, right? If I'm on a side view, I'm not doing this. I'm kind of right about here, relaxed, okay? And if some of you advanced guys out there, you know about Chi Sao. I was talking to an instructor this past week about Chi Sao and Chi Sao and knowing how to move in Chi Sao. I love Chi Sao. I love Chi Sao just basically means breath hands, Chi Sao, right? But it's a great technique. It's been around for a long time, long time, okay? So we're taking this energy and it's coming up. Now breathe in, breathe in. Now, when I get to about shoulder level, we're going to breathe out. And you just turn the palms over, nice and relaxed. Now, instead of thinking forceful, let me see, how can I get you moving in a nice, relaxed? Think about a balloon, a helium balloon, okay? And that balloon is kind of going upward, helium balloon, going up. And then it turns over, and it's nice and light, pressing downward. And as you go downward now, we're breathing out. So breathe out. Good. Now, we're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now I'm going to turn sideways so you can see a little side view here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I am bending my knees slightly as I go down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn over. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Bring it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn over. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now relax. Now basic breathing. Again, I'm not doing a lot of advanced situations right now. I'm not talking about the advanced internal situations right now. I'm just talking about basic right now so you can understand it. And again, one of the main reasons I want to kind of introduce this again is because of what everybody's going through in the world right now. Okay? So listen, if you are tied down at the house right now, this is the best time you take advantage of this. And all you need to do is find maybe about 10 to 15 minutes in the morning and at night. If you want to do it more, even better, right? But you got to find time to do this to work on the internal side of the body to make it happen, okay? Let's go to posture 2, all right? So this is posture 1, right? Now, say, for instance, when I'm finishing posture 1, my hand's about this level, I'm going to go to posture 2. Now, when I go to posture 2, I face my palms to each other, and I'm going to start to let the wrist go outward, just like this. They go outward, right? And then back in. Now, I'm going to let my palms go inward, and my wrist go out. So, breathe in. Keep your knees slightly bent. Breathe out. I'm going to exaggerate the breath so you can hear it. Watch this. Right? Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now, as I'm doing this, I'm keeping my body totally relaxed, right? I want to make sure the body's relaxed. And how do you relax the body? You basically tell the body, all right? There's a lot of situations in your life that you've been, let me give you an example. If I walk around, I'm talking about my buddy, and I said, man, tell you what, my head hurts. And I said it one time, right? But let's say, for instance, I said that 20 times in a row, right? After that 20th time, my head's going to hurt even more, okay? The mind is so strong, it can tell the body what to do. So that's what we're trying to gain here. Let the brain tell the body what to do in a good way, okay? So we have 2 postures here. First posture, posture 1, right? And again, when I start off, I'm just at a normal, regular stance here. My knees are slightly bent, right? And I'm just going to start to bring my hands up. This is posture 1. So you breathe in and then breathe out, right? Just like that. Breathe in and breathe out. And my hands are pretty much just open. I'm not doing anything fancy, right? I'm not doing any of this, none of that. Just my palms are open, my fingertips are open a little bit here. But I do want to feel some sort of energy in my palms as I'm doing that, okay? And what I mean by that is I don't want to just be tossing my hands around. I want to feel some sort of sensation. And if you're doing this right, sometimes people will feel a tingle. Sometimes you'll feel like a warm sensation. Could be a couple of different things, okay? So it's totally up to you what you're feeling. It's the amount of effort that you're putting into this, okay? And again, the reason why I'm doing this video this morning is because of everything going on in the world right now, man. We need to have this in our lives right about now, because the lungs are the things that are infected the most in this COVID situation. So let's work on the lungs, people, okay? Let's get it out there. I'm getting ready to sign off in a second here, but I want to thank everybody out there, first off, for all the support. I do my nightly shows, of course, and I enjoy myself so much with the singing and playing, man. I got to have that. That's just me. But I also enjoy my martial arts because I feel that that's the internal side of what I do. So I call the martial arts and my music the yin and the yang, right? Mr. Don Weber, who's normally with me, he's on the outskirts. He's on that side, man. I'm over here. So maybe in a couple of weeks we'll get back to the other dojo and we'll start doing our classes and get Don involved too, because he's really good at this also, man. We have a great time together. And also some other instructors out there I want to mention. My buddy Leon Molinario, he's one of the instructors over in New Orleans right now, along with all my other buddies over there. And they're still doing martial arts and trying to keep it all together. Keep the martial arts going, man. Uh, it is one of those things where another buddy of mine in New Orleans, man, instructor Ricky Toy, he just opened up a location over there, and he's starting to teach us Kung Fu, man. I tell you, he's one of the best Kung Fu instructors I've seen around, man. He's really, really good. Of course, Brother Gary, you guys know my twin. He's also a martial artist, and he's in Iowa, so he does martial arts too. And he is one fast guy, man. He's got the quickest legs in history, man. He's quick. But today I just want to bring this to you about breathing, because breathing is so important. It's so important. If you're not breathing right, you're not exercising full potential of the breath, right? Full potential. And what I mean by that is having the breath going through the whole body all the way down to your toes. Well, how can the breath go into your toes? Right here. You think about it, it happens. Okay? I'll give you one last example. I'm always talking about sweets. I love sweets. Say, for instance, you walk into the mall. In the mall, right? And they have one of these, let's see, what do they call them? Cinnabon, I guess they call it. Cinnamon places. Cinnabon. And you walk in it, and right off the bat, man, you smell that Cinnabon. It's over there. It smells so good. It's like the cinnamon roll with lots of sugar. Don't tell Leon. Lots of sugar on it, right? And as you get closer and closer, you can taste that, right? What is that, man? That's the breath, the brain, and the body all coming together. Not for a good thing, but it's all coming together, right? So the point today, y'all, I really want you to focus on breathing, because it's heartbreaking to me. First off, what we've seen with this country over the past couple of days, man, I hate seeing things like that, but we have to keep our minds positive, okay? If you want to make a difference, don't make a difference in 1,000 people. Make a difference in one person first, and then let that expand, right? That's how you start to make a difference in the world, one at a time. One at a time. You know, God's been good to me. He's given me a lot of great gifts. If I don't give these gifts back, I feel like I'm not doing my end either. But it holds something back inside of me when I don't give a gift back. So if you have a gift to give out, give it out by all means. Give it out. Okay? Hopefully this may help you a little bit today, y'all. I've got to sign off. But I got to tell you, I enjoyed being here with you, whether it's martial arts or music. Okay? Let me get over. Thank you all so much. Have a blessed day now. Have a blessed day.